not one of them.
Exactly. So now my music is, hey, God, you give it to me. I don't know who this might touch.
Yeah.
But I trust you and I'm going to put it out. If it succeeds, good. If it doesn't, maybe it might touch one person I never know about. But I'm going to put it out anyways and see what it does.
Yeah. He's a friend of the friendless. He's the hope to the hopeless. The illest conductor, the best orchestrator, by the far he's the dopest. Created the moon, created the sun by using his vocals. Whenever a problem arises, solved, he's already spoken. Created the light and saw that it was all good. Created the land and sea, it was all good. Created the plants and trees and it was all good. See, in the air or in the sea, it's all good. That's what it be. That's what it be. Created the day and night and it was all good. Created the animals and they are all good. Created you and me and we are all good. See, when my God is in control, facts I'll show us.
We're back, and today we have an amazing guest, Keisha. I'm
excited.
I know, he's all the way here from Las Vegas. Las Vegas, baby. We have the amazing Ron King. So this guy, he does it all. Let me tell you, Ron and I, we go back quite a few years. We met. He was the worship, I call him the worship leader. Don't know if that was his official title, but if not, it should have been. At a church we both attended, and I remember saying the first time I heard him sing, I looked over to my mom and I was like, he has the voice of an angel. I could just sit and listen to him sing all day long. And I have to tell you, when worship was over, I was like, can you maybe go back up there and sing some more songs? He's just amazing, has an amazing voice. He's just an amazing person. And he does a lot more than just sing. So how are you doing, Ron?
I'm doing very well today.
All right. So I want to ask you, what's the weather like out there today?
I think it's like mid 60s to 70s. I think we're going to be 74 today.
Well, you know what? I think we have you beat here in Ohio because it's what, 75 right now? 75
like that.
And sunny, something we don't really see a lot here in Ohio.
Nope.
Yeah, but this is a different 74 out here. So
it is.
It's probably colder there.
It is.
What side of town are you at in Vegas?
I'm in North Las Vegas. So,
okay.
Just a little bit above the historic Las Vegas district.
Yeah.
I had some friends who lived out there in Apple Valley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very familiar. Since Las Vegas is only about 45 minutes around.
Great city.
It is.
Great city. All Buckeyes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're all Buckeyes.
A bunch of Ohio transplants are in Las Vegas.
Yes, they are.
All the time.
So funny. So, Ron, I talked about you were the worship leader. So I want to ask you, how did you get involved in music? Was it really young? Do you come from a musical background?
Well, musical background, no. Family-wise, yes. But I think I got into music, I was about 3 or 4 years old. My grandmother had a baby grand piano in her upstairs living room that my uncles had built for her. And she was very astute on making sure that we did things properly. So it wasn't go upstairs and bang on the piano. It was she took a radio and put it on the piano and said, no, you're not going to bang on the piano. Listen to the radio, play what you hear. And I think that's when I first really started diving into music, is when she would make me sit there and play back what I heard on the radio. And it kind of just grew from there.
Yeah, and now do you still do that? Like, if you hear something, can you turn around and play it or know the harmony?
I'm a little bit rusty, but yeah, I can, given 2 or 3 tries. I'm not a prodigy.
Yeah.
Definitely a worked skill that I have to listen hard and exactly know where the first note starts.
Yeah.
But from there, I can pluck my way around and figure it out.
And now, what genres did you sing or perform in growing up, and how did that transition into gospel music go for you?
For me, I grew up classically trained. I had a piano teacher, Everett McCullum. He was very, very diligent in making sure that we knew the basics of classical music, because from there you can actually expound and go into jazz, into blues, into gospel, into rock. So I started lessons with him, and then I started singing with called the Austintown Boys Choir.
Okay.
And that was a traveling boys choir. I think I started at the age of 8 singing with them.
Wow.
So we traveled all around America to the veterans hospitals in Washington, D.C. We got to sing for George Bush Sr. on the White House lawn. We had to sing at a few Indian games, Cleveland Indians when they were the Indians, now the Guardians.
Right.
We got to go to Carnegie Hall, sing with the Pittsburgh Boys Choir, the Harlem Boys Choir. So
Wow.
a lot of Ave Maria songs and classical pieces that you'll hear from a boys choir. But also I went to a predominantly Black church, and there I learned gospel music and just grew up in the church.
Yeah.
It's the best of both worlds.
I love that. I think people don't really understand like the classically trained. Like that can't be easy for one. But it seems like it sets you in a position to where you can go into the other genres as well. Would you agree with that?
I do. It helps you become versatile, because when you're classically trained, it's not going by raw talent. It's making sure that you shape all the vowels, that you are able to listen to the people around you to match their tone and their pitch to sound as a unit instead of a individual. So there's a lot of ear training that goes into being classically trained, singing with choirs, knowing parts, being able to read music. So it did give me a leg up in a lot of areas, just by being in that environment and learning.
And so that would work because I said, you're the worship leader at the church. That's what I called you anyways. Yeah. I don't know if that was your official title.
I did become the worship director, so yes.
Yes. And yes, you totally deserved it. Like I said, you had the voice of an angel. But do you feel that classical training that you had where you really could rely on your ear, does that help you as a worship director? Like, do you instantly know, like, that whole pitch is off, like, that's not going right, that's not going right, we need to stop and start over? And how does that really, when that happens, how does that transcend with the other bandmates that don't have that kind of training and they're like, I don't even understand why it's wrong? Does that happen, and how do you handle that?
That it does happen. Being the worship director, though, it gave me the ability to be able to help coach my group together in not a demeaning way. It's more of, let me help you do better with your craft. So there's a lot of exercises that you learn when your pitch is flat to go up on your tiptoes because that actual helps raise the tone. So there's a lot of things that go into having that previous experience and hearing what does not mesh and when the dissonance happen. A lot of it deals with breath control and making sure that we are properly breathing instead of just going up there and singing and belting out what we believe to be our emotions rather than singing. So it has happened, and I've stopped and had to just tell them, like, hey, when we do this, this is how we go forward. This is what we need to do. It's not about us. It's about creating an atmosphere that everyone can enter into. And as a worship leader, one distraction on stage can remove somebody from their ability to worship, because now they are looking at something that was not supposed to happen. And if you react, then they're like, oh, something's wrong. And now they're not worshiping. Now they're interested in what just went wrong.
Yeah.
So it does help coach.
Yeah.
And instruct rather than reprimand. It's not a recommendation. It's just like, hey, we're a unit. We're going to succeed together. We're going to fail together. So let's work.
That's leadership. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and I love that you say that, because I find, like, sometimes when I'm in worship, like, if the music starts out way too loud, it just sets a certain kind of tone with me where I'm like, all right, let's speed through this and get it done, because this is really hurting my ears and I don't know how long I can handle this. Or, if you listen to music enough, you know how the instruments sound. Even if you're not trained in music, you kind of pick up on that's a guitar, or, that's something else. And when they have that little, like, maybe they hit it wrong, you're just like, oh, that shouldn't have. And you're so focused on that you don't even recognize they're still singing the song that you absolutely love in this. So I think that's true, that it can set off the atmosphere of the people listening and worshiping with that. And I think that's true, like, in any musical setting, because if you follow an artist enough, you know how they sound, you know how it's supposed to sound, and you know when it doesn't sound that way.
Correct.
And a lot of times you're like, hey, what a fan participation. I'm just going to belt it out here, even though I'm not a singer at all, only in the shower and in my car where I'm just amazing. And I'm the only one that says that. But, we've talked about that. I'm like, yeah, I'm good in the shower and in my car. After that, no, it's a no. Like, well, in church, that's different. You're in the moment, you're singing. It don't matter what you sound like. God just loves that you're praising him. So I love that. I love that about you. But, what I loved was when you moved to Vegas, we both know I was sad. I was like, wait, what? Where are you going? Why are you going there? And because we became really good friends through that meeting at church, and we could have all kind of discussions, and we didn't agree on everything we talked about, but we respected each other enough to have those conversations. We know that we had that when you came back to visit, and we talked about some stuff that happened, and we didn't agree when we started, and we still didn't agree when we finished. But the one thing we said was, I respect your position on what you're saying, and I hope you understand mine, and we're still going to be friends when we walk out the door.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I think that stands the test of time. Like, if your friend, I'm not willing to lose my friendship because I don't agree with what you did or your opinion of what you're saying. I value the friendship more than anything. And I think in the music industry, it seems really hard to have those kind of friendships because.
Yeah, it is. Excuse me. It is a little bit difficult because everyone is going to be an expert at their craft. So it's going to be always personal preference of how you like to do things. And in the music industry, people feel that if they're not up front in the limelight, it's detracting or taking away from their ability to be seen or promote themselves. So that the disagreements usually end up in a ridiculous fallout over preference. And it's Man, it's not my thing. Because like when we have a disagreement, the Bible says iron sharpens iron. That means that you have to have an edge to yourself, and you're not going to agree. But that listening aspect, that willingness to have that conversation and state why you feel a specific way, and actually listen to the other person of why they disagree, we learn. It doesn't mean that you change your viewpoint. That helps sharpen us to be better at what we communicate to others. So it's needed, but a fallout over it, it's not necessary.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth that. I mean, I told you when we had those conversations, I learned some things during those that I didn't know at the time or didn't see that at the time. And I was thankful for you. And I told you, thank you for just putting it in a way that I can actually understand it, because I don't understand. And I'm okay with saying, I don't understand. Can you explain it to me in a different way that I could understand? And that works because we have that long-standing friendship, that we know each other, we know each other's preferences, and we know how to say things. And I think the most important thing is we can just be real in the conversation. I don't have to worry about you coming across the table and decking me because you don't like what I'm saying. And I know I can tell when I'm hitting a point that you don't like, because when you know people enough, you know their mannerisms and their attitude, and I can see that. And I'm like, I know you don't like what I'm saying, but I'm just trying to tell you how this is, and I can just be myself in this conversation. And I think that's important, that you can just be real with the person, that you're not worried about something terrible happening at this table, because you're just trying to tell them how it is that you view it, and it's very different from the way that you yourself have viewed that situation. So that's what I've always loved about our friendship, is that we can do that. And it's a good sounding board, because I know you have messaged me like, hey, I have some new music. Do you want to listen? And my comment back to you is, I'm going to be truthful, right? Because
100%.
Yeah,
I come to you.
Not everyone can handle the truth. And I know you sent me some, and I'm like, what are you going for with this song? Because it's not working for me. But this, and I didn't stop there. I'm like, but this is why. This is why it's not working. Is that what you were going for? Because, people make music that I don't necessarily like, but I still listen. And if I really don't like it, then I just don't listen. I don't go on and be like, this is terrible. I don't do that to people. I don't feel you actually need to do that. If there's something wrong, just message them personally and be like, hey. But in the end, you're the musician. You know what you're doing. I'm just a listener. It's just my preference, but you're talented in that way. So, and we did have that. You did send me one, and I was like, I don't know what you're doing here. Like,
yeah, it's not working for me.
Like, this is not working for me.
Yeah. But the thing is, when I send out songs, I make sure I get a nice mix of people from different ages, different cultures, different walks of life. And the same songs that you said, it's not working for me, other people, they're like, that's my favorite song.
Right.
So I know my music is not for everyone.
Right.
Because even my wife would tell me, the gospel pieces, I don't get behind. But she wasn't raised on gospel music. So I totally understand that is foreign to her. But then if I send it to my parents, they love it.
Yeah.
But then like CMA music I do, my parents are like, it's kind of bland. And I'm like, but this is supposed to be like worship, like just intimate worship. It don't need a bunch of runs, don't need a bunch of theatrics. This is just straight to the point.
Right.
So, like I said, preference, and I don't get offended any longer. I used to, because I used to think of my music as like, these are my babies.
Yeah.
You talk about my babies, we're gonna fight.
Right. West
You gotta pick and choose your battles, and that's not one of them.
Exactly. So now my music is, hey God, you give it to me. I don't know who this might touch.
Yeah.
But I trust you, and I'm going to put it out. If it succeeds, good. If it doesn't, Maybe it might touch one person I never know about, but I'm going to put it out anyways and see what it does. So,
Yeah, and I've noticed in time, like, I may go back a month or two later and listen to the same song and it just hits me differently. And I'm like, in that season, it just wasn't for me. But now I can really resonate with this song. And I know we've had that before because when I filmed my documentary, I contacted you and I said, hey, I want to use this particular song. I'm filming a documentary. It's for behind the scenes. And you're like, I think maybe you should look at this other song. And I was like, yeah, but I really like, and you're like, no, I really think you should listen to this other song. And I was like, okay, well, he knows something in it is going to resonate with me. And then afterwards, the song you recommended was the one I chose. And it was Keisha was there when we filmed. It was very popular. And I was like, he knew that, no, this is the song you need to use. And I don't want to go a lot. I do want to go into that song, but we have another episode for that. So I don't really want to touch on that one a lot, but just to say that was the right decision of that. And that song too, I remember you had put something on Facebook and I had commented and you said, well, when are you coming to Vegas? And I had never been to Vegas before and we knew that. And I said, well, about the time you release an album, my snarky, sarcastic comment and you just like hit the like button. I was like, oh, he gets my sarcastic sense of humor sometimes. Not that I didn't think you couldn't do an album, because I knew you could do an album. I'm one of your biggest supporters. And then what was it? A couple months later, you're like, hey, I'm going to need you to get a plane ticket. And I'm like, what? I said, I don't have any events in Vegas or near Vegas. Like I got to go to Florida in a couple weeks. Like it's all the way across the United States. And then I'm thinking in my mind, like, what is he talking about? And then you said, hey, remember that comment you made about when I do an album? And I was like, oh, instantly I was like, oh no, he done put it to me now. He done put it to me. And so I said, when is it? And then we started laughing because we knew when your event was over, I only had 2 days before I had to be at the other place. But I remember telling you at the time that I made the snarky comment that I would move everything because when you lived back in Ohio where I was, I always told you when you release your album, as long as I'm in the United States, I will find a way to make it there. And I really wanted to hold to that promise. So I was like, okay, it's going to be a whirlwind. And then I just, afterwards, I sat and I got my ticket and I'm like, oh my gosh, like he's totally done the album. I'm so happy for him. So proud of that. I know what that means to him because we had talked about that before. People didn't believe in your music when you really needed people to believe in your music and just what that means from doing that album. So I get to your album release. Again, I don't really want to, it's going to happen in another episode, but I remember sitting at the table and I kept looking like, not only did he release an album, but he signed to a record company, right? I'm just like, this is a record company. And you sat down during one of the breaks and I was like, so tell me about this record company. And you looked at me and you're like, well, it's my record company. And I was like, wait, what? So without giving a lot away about what happened there, because like I said, we're going to talk about that in another episode. Talk about that transition and really how that came to be and what was your inspiration for doing that?
The transition was in Ohio. I had a core group of people that I always did music with. It was not hard to find musicians and to find singers who wanted to do music. But when I came to Vegas, it was like pulling teeth. It was a whole new beast because Vegas is very transient. Mm-hmm. Most people transfer here from a different place and people stick to their own groups of people that they know. And people do not like to travel more than 10 minutes. And when I say 10 minutes, I honestly mean 10 minutes. I would tell people, hey, I want to do music at my house. I got my keyboard. I got everything. I got the sound equipment. We can do recordings. We can get this done. I got mics. They're like, where do you live? And I would say, I live up in North Las Vegas. Well, then it was Aliante. They're like, oh, that's too far. I said, excuse me. It's too far. And I'll go, what, too far? It's 26 minutes. And they would say, that's too far for them to drive. And it blew my mind because at that time I was driving 45 minutes. And these are people I used to go to church with. I would drive 45 minutes down to church at 6 a.m. to open the church, stay for 2 services, then go sleep in the parking lot of one of the casinos or resorts because we had small groups afterwards around 5. Mm-hmm. So I knew if I drove back up to Aliante, I probably wouldn't be going to small groups. So me and my wife would sleep in parking lots and then go to these small group meetings. And I didn't realize that coming from Ohio, in half an hour trip is cakewalk to us.
Right. It's like driving down the street.
Yes. But in Vegas, that's a life commitment. and people
They've never been to Texas, because I'm going to tell you what, everywhere you go in Texas, it's 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. And it's I was like, seriously, like we can do music, we can put music out, we can actually get paid from this. I'm buying food, I'm providing pizza, drinks, whatever you guys need. Let's get together. But like I said, it was like pulling teeth. And finally, God said, "You're depending on others to get you where you want to be. Depend on me." And I was just like, "Oh, God, come on now. I've been depending on you my whole life." He's like, "No, you've been depending on the people around you to help you get there." And so I did a lot of prayer and thinking on what I should do. And a lifelong friend of mine is in the music industry. And people have been telling me for a long time, hit him up, hit him up, hit him up. He has a really, really good name and track record in the industry. That if I dropped his name, people would be like, "Oh, he did this? He did this? Oh, wow." But I didn't want to just utilize him to get my step up.
Right.
So at the time, I was like, "No, I'm good." And then he messaged me one day. He was like, "Hey, I moved to Vegas." And I said, "Oh, that's good." And I left it go. And I mean, I'm talking about like a childhood brother friend.
Right.
I'm glad, but I just didn't want to be one of those people that rides the coattails of others.
Yeah.
Right.
And then one time, he was like, "Hey, I need a ride," and I said, "I got you." So I went and picked him up, and we hung out, and like it was just like we hadn't seen each other for over 20 years, and it was just like we were just back to where we started. And so we talked and everything, and I didn't bring up nothing about my music, nothing. He needed help at a certain time, so I helped him out with some things, and then he hit me up like about a week later saying, "Hey, my mom said that you do music." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I do music." And he was like, "Hey, Ron, like, we boys, but when people say they do music, I can't always take them at their word."
Right.
Because people say they do music and it be trash. I said, "Oh, no, totally, I understand. No, I totally understand. I do music." He's like, "Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you 3 beats. And I need 3 songs for this upcoming project I'm doing." And I was like, "Okay." I listened to them. And within 24 hours, I sent him back 3 songs. And he goes, "Ron, it hasn't been 24 hours yet, man. Did you really listen to the songs? Did you really put your best foot forward? Because when I listened to them, this is what I'm going to critique you on music-wise." And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." I said, I wouldn't send you back nothing that I wouldn't put out myself.
Right.
So we hung up and I went back to working in my garage. And then like 15 minutes later, I get a call and they exceeded his expectations on the quality and what he was going for. And he asked me
So you
why
were
I did-
hired.
Yes, I was. Those songs did go into production. They did get recorded. And he was like, why didn't you? And I told him, I said, at the time, I felt like God wasn't telling me to like do that, to just go my own way and do what I'm supposed to do. So he got me in touch with one of his producer friends here in Vegas. And he more or less told me the same thing. He goes, you're a gifted writer and a gifted musician. He said, you know, a lot of people die with songs in the grave. He's like, if you don't put your music out, nobody's ever going to hear it. Nobody's ever going to support it. Then you're a waste, more or less. Like he was like, I'm just being upfront.
Right.
He's like, if this is your talent, if this is your gifting, you have to put it out. And that with a lot of other people who do support me, like yourself, it resonated. Like, okay, I do have these songs. I'm sitting on 186 songs in my catalog.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid to put them out because of critique. And so, then and there, it was August. I remember August, and I was like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm moving forward. I'm going to put out this music, and I'm going to put out an album. And then somebody was like, why don't you have an album release party? And I was like, oh, I never thought of that. Like, and a lot of things did come up to kind of deter me. People were like, who are you? You haven't paid your dues. You like, I've been in the music industry for 40 years and I never had an album release party. And I was like, well, you know, you should take that
what?
to God.
Right.
That ain't about my problem. Like, if this is what God led me to do, like, if it's not going to succeed.
Right.
Now I learned. If it does, then I learn. And so I moved forward and I stopped listening to the critics and the haters because that just meant that I was doing something right. I mean, I liked them. I was like, oh, I shouldn't do it? Okay, I'm doing it.
I will.
And
Watch me.
yeah, that was my mentality. I was like, okay, well, I appreciate your concern and I understand exactly what you guys are saying. No love lost.
Right.
But I'm moving forward with what I've been called to do.
Yeah.
And so ran into a bunch of I'll call them learning experiences.
Right.
With people taking advantage and stealing, and it was just a lot of drama. But I learned in the process how to navigate people, how to
See who they are.
yes.
And they show you.
recognize them. Yeah, and and trust and believe when they show you.
Amen. Trust and believe.
Trust them.
That's
Right. Tell you.
That's who they are, right?
Yeah, so I all that just helped solidify who I am now, because now with the things I'm doing, I have to be very careful. I have to be very diligent. I have to be able to examine the whole scope of the situation, because now I'm not going into a place just representing myself. I'm representing a lot of other people and interests. So putting that out was a huge stepping stone for myself. It was, I have to say, God ordained and God led, because so many things happened that it shouldn't have succeeded. It shouldn't have. It shouldn't have even. I should have canceled. Everybody was telling me, just cancel it and just postpone it. Just cancel it and postpone it. And God was like, I didn't tell you to cancel or postpone, so trust me. And we did, and I think it was a good day for me. I don't think it was a bad day.
I agree. It was a fabulous day. So we both know, like, I'm not really an emotional person, but I shed some tears that day, and they weren't sadness. I was just so happy for you because I knew what you had gone through, how much grind you've gone through, and what you paid into your craft. And just everything that you put into it, all your work. And I was like, finally, now other people can see what we've all known all along and just what that was. And I remember telling you, like, remember the journey to get here, because you learn stuff at every single step of the way. But don't discount this moment of your life, because your life is going to change. I mean, it's just going to change. And it was an amazing event. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was
I had
fabulous.
a lot of volunteer support that picked up a lot of the slack that I was missing out on. My family flew in and my parents helped out, and like without my friend Carly Itson giving me the space to do it, without Joan,
It was a labor of love.
Yeah. This was actually a community coming together to help support this dream of mine, and they were selfless. They were selfless.
That's fantastic.
I truly appreciate it.
It was. I walked in and I was like, wait, I know some of these people. Like, I know people in Vegas when I really only thought I knew Ron. But I did that. But I love that you said the word selfless, because you certainly are. Because I remember after you had that in music and you're still making music, you took on a huge project that you're like, I'm going to make another dream come true now. And it really is selfless when you're starting to do something for the community. And I know we talked and I was like, it's going to be a bumpy ride. It's going to be a real bumpy ride. But if you believe in the ride, take the bumps. Yeah. Because in the end, you're going to get there and you're going to learn a lot along the way, but it's going to be real bumpy and uncomfortable for you. And so I want you to talk now, because I know you're amazing at music. You're amazing at anything you put your mind to. And then you birth this whole other thing that doesn't have anything to do with music. And that's just how gifted you are. So I want you to talk about your nonprofit that you did, and congratulations. I was just like, all right, you the man. Like, you're tearing it up out there in Vegas. I might have to make a return trip sometime. But I want you to talk about your nonprofit, what it is, what steered you in that way, and the difficulties that you endured to bring the nonprofit into the world.
Okay. So the parent company of the nonprofit is called Not My Will Ministries. The current active one underneath it is Showering Las Vegas with Love. So I'm building mobile shower units to take out to the homeless encampments to give people showers. I've always been working with the homeless since a young age. My mom, when I was growing up in Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh, we would take the bus to daycare and to her work at PPG. And there was a homeless guy, Mr. Shaky. He had Parkinson's, so he always shook. Mr. Shaky, I never met a stranger, evidently. So he would make sure I had my vitamin C's every morning. He would gift me things, caramels. He gave me a blue Easter bunny for Easter one year. That has always been my mission field, is the homeless. Holidays, we were in soup kitchens giving back. Christmas, Thanksgiving, it didn't matter. Even during college, when people go home for spring break or go home for the summer break, I stayed at my college and volunteered and worked at the shelters and things like that. All the way up through churches, I did security and then somehow got roped into the music ministry for worship at the homeless centers,
Right.
which actually made me learn my craft better, because I was like, I can't give them subpar worship when I'm transposing everything. I need to know different keys now.
Right.
And that actually propelled me into that music side of that. But when I got here and I was like, okay, well, the proceeds from my albums, a percent always goes to either buying socks, hat, and gloves for the homeless. And I was volunteering. I would go out Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays with a group called Cup of Hope. And on Mondays, we would take an RV out and be able to give about 10 to 15 showers in one single trip. And seeing the transformation of a person after they take a shower repeatedly. Now, this is only like once a week. They were getting a shower once. And when you talk to them, it's like, when's the last time you had a shower? Somebody will tell you like 6 months. And the thought process that went behind that, how can you help somebody with mental health when they feel like they cannot fit into a society because of how they feel? If I'm dirty, even though I might have good mannerisms, good vernacular that I can hold conversations in places, you want me to come into a place that is sparkly clean, and you guys make it all nice for me to come in here, but I'm dirty.
Right.
And if I sit on your couch or if I sit here, my thought is I'm worried about leaving a stain, leaving a smell, leaving XYZ. Some people have jobs and they have to go to their work, and they know that there's an odor. There's only so much a towelette can do wiping yourself down with it. And I saw the transformation through one young lady. She was getting a shower every Monday. At first, she was acting wild. She was acting the part. But when she started getting a shower regularly every Monday, she was first in line. And she was able to articulate her wants and desires better. She was now not going off, talking to herself in the middle of the street, walking back and forth across in traffic. She was sitting and holding conversations because that self-esteem, that self-worth was restored, that dignity that she can now go into places and not have to worry about people judging her because of the shower. And so God showed that to me in that, it's just that way. And so I was thinking about it. And I was like, okay, God, I get it. I see the correlation, but what do I do with it? And he said, build showers. And I said, I don't build nothing. Like, no. And he was like, build showers. And he removed me from a lot of other things that I thought that I should be doing. Like he when he said move, it's better to listen because I didn't listen at first.
Right.
Situations happen that I didn't have a choice but to remove myself from other things that I was participating in. So with a lot of prayer, a lot of fasting, me and my wife, I talked to her. I said, look, this is where I think God has called me to be. This is where I know that my heart has always been here for outreach ministry to the homeless.
Yeah.
Like, I am so comfortable around them. I dress the part. People think I'm homeless when I'm out there with them. Like, literally, they'll be like, hey, you need this? Hey, take this. Like, I'm a volunteer too. Like, I'm
Right.
Yes, this shirt is from 1998 and it is sewn together and has holes all in it, but no, I'm not homeless. But yeah, so now we are we're fighting red tape somewhat. Here in Vegas, it's illegal to be homeless. But we have a lot of people that have come in the last just 3 years. The homelessness has increased over 30%. A lot are coming from California. And they're not doing nothing here in Vegas about it except for being displaced. So as they revitalize certain parts of the city, it's heavily policed, and they're tearing down things, bulldozing land, and are starting to build new casinos and buildings and things like that. But at the same time, the people that are being displaced, they're getting pushed up to different sections of people's housing neighborhoods, and people in the neighborhoods don't want them.
Yeah.
We go out every Wednesday and Saturday. I'm with a group called 702 Better Together, and we provide hot food, we provide clothing, we provide hygiene, fruits, vegetables, everything that is necessary for them to keep living. And last Wednesday, we were just approached by the marshals that we have to get a permit to feed the homeless because we have a gathering of more than 25 people. This
The
permit
red
is
tape.
this permit is $125 an hour, but you have to at least have 2 hours booked. So that's $250 an outing. And I tell them we do this twice a week. So you're telling me $500 a week. So you're telling me $26,000 a year to feed, clothe, and take care of the homeless, which a lot of our government officials have ran on the platform of reducing or finding, I don't want to say a cure because it's not a cure, but finding a way to help out.
Resources.
Yes. And the money is like,
But they're not making a contribution.
no, that's the problem. Like, this is the platform government officials have run on, but when we ask, like, how can we partner with you guys to make this work? We don't want them to be a nuisance. We are cleaning up the park and leaving the park in a better condition than we found it. Most of these people don't even live on this side of town, and they take a bus because they know that we're consistently there for the last 6 years. We haven't had a problem with any type of altercations that have ever happened in the park. We make sure that it's cleaned up after we're done. We even bag the trash and everything for the city workers to come and just grab the trash and throw it in the dumpsters. Like, but the red tape is always going to be there. So we get to run around.
Which makes it political. Yeah.
It does. And if they shut us down, it's like, okay, Wednesdays, usually we have about 80 to 90 people show up. Saturdays, we have about 120 to 150 people show up. These are our clientele. And if we get shut down, it's like, okay, if we don't feed them, if we don't clothe them, and if you guys keep pushing them into neighborhoods where people's children and stuff live, how long is it going to be before theft goes up because they don't have what they need to survive?
Right.
How long is it going to be until you guys are worried an altercation is going to happen because you're going to have some entitled parent, which, yes, your kids should be safe, but just seeing them, they start to yell at them. And because they have an idea of what they're up to. Oh, you guys are on drugs. You guys are doing this. Some of them, yes. Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Right. This preconceived notions.
It's survival. It's survival. And they're doing the best they can with what they have.
Exactly.
And they have to get out of scarcity. Right? But they're in survival mode. So they're going to do whatever it takes to get whatever they need to be, have some dignity.
Yeah, dignity and self-sufficiency. So
Yeah.
I said the big corporations that are getting all these $1 million donations and things, they throw 2 or 3 galas or outreaches a year. They get the media attention. They get the accolades. But the impact is like throwing a cup of water into the ocean. You're not
Right.
2 or 3 different things a year does not help the daily lives of somebody who had just lost everything.
Right.
So it's an uphill battle, but God has been connecting me with people on a level that I'm praying that he slows down. because it started off with, I thought I was only supposed to be doing showers.
Right.
And God said, well, I want to have a one-stop hub where you have the showers, where you have a barbershop, where you have a clothing room, where you have a pantry, where you have a therapist and somebody that's able to help them navigate Social Security and be able to get their IDs and have computer access, because the forms they need to fill out can't always be done on their phones. So they have to have a computer lab. So all these things coming together under one roof so the community can stop there and people can get their showers. They can get a fresh haircut. They can get clothing for interviews. They can grab canned goods. So when they're out on the street, they have the pop tops that they can go ahead and eat. But they can also grab hot meals. They can talk to a therapist that we have a doctor on staff that are able to prescribe medicine to get them back in the right frame of mind if they're having mental psychosis or something like that. And these people have just randomly just been coming up to me and like, oh, so what you doing? I'm at Goodwill shopping. Like, I'm looking for shoes. And he was like, yeah, well, I run a clothing. I got a storage unit, 10 by 10, full of clothes. Or somebody came out and was passing out pamphlets in the park. And they were like, well, we're therapists and we need clientele to work with, but we never could seem to gather them all in one place. And then you seem to have them here. It's moving quickly and I see the big picture. So right now, the prayer is that God directs me to where I need to be, because at first, like I said, I'm focused on showers.
Right.
Let me just do the shower thing and be done. But with all these people showing up and wanting to be a part of something bigger, it's hard to just put that aside and see like, okay, well, that's somebody else's problem.
Right. You want to be the contributor and the servant to do that. So I totally agree with you, Ron. And not only have you been the servant, but you're also going to be the leader to help coordinate that to happen.
That's the
and it is a scary part, but here's the also wonderful gift to that, right? The gift of serving and the leadership that comes with that will bring this full circle. And you will have the right people will show up with the right hands. You just got to keep praying over that. And I know that it'll be successful. I'm sure that it already is successful and you're already making an impact in it. And to me, that is the biggest gift that God can give you, is to make impact and keep continually showing up, because the right people were going to show up with you in leadership and servantship.
I agree.
And they're going to help you carry the load.
I'll say, yeah. They have to, because
I'm going to ask that they have to agree with that. But yes, but you have to state the expectations too, right? You can't carry the load by yourself. It takes a village and a community and resources and somebody else who can help you with probably the legislation part to it. And, like, so your state representatives, those kind of people, you have to get involved. It's people, it's your mayor, it's your community servants, whether it's the police department, the fire department, whoever, but it's the people who are out there amongst the people, right? It's the civil servants who are making the impact on a small level, but together you're going to make a larger impact. So I commend you, because it's not easy. It's not easy. And I see this a lot in our community. We're out there. I give Narcan. I also work with, people who are going through addiction, those kinds of things. Not at the same level that you're doing it, but they're still needing resources, and I just keep showing up.
Yeah,
that's all I can do is show up.
Yeah, and we know how God is, Ron. Like, we're like, oh, yep, he told me to do showers, but the deeper part of us knows, like, yeah, this isn't all he's gonna tell me to do. Like, he's like, well, this is the knob. I'm gonna have you work the knob for a little bit, then we gonna open the door and I'm gonna need you to walk through. And I think it's important that when you pray and you ask people to pray, that it is that God sends the people. Because sometimes when we're left to our own devices, we don't necessarily make the best decisions when it comes to that stuff. And that's why Keisha and I are always like, pray for divine connections, divine opportunities. So when he comes, and then you know what happens? Well, you do know what happens, Ron.
Well, you just said it. Like, right. That's our prayer, is that me and my wife prayed that God puts us in divine connection with those attached to our destiny.
Absolutely.
Specifically our prayer.
Or an angel investor to be fully funded and sold out. That's
Amen.
what we pray for.
Amen.
That's what we pray for.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, and here's the other part. God does send those people.
He does.
He does send those people. And we've asked for angel investors, and they were like, hey, we're happy to help you. We didn't know this was what you're looking for. And so I'm going to say to you, Ron, let your vision be bigger. Let your vision be, yes, I'm going to say that, it's probably scary, but let your vision be bigger, that more people will show up and be faithful servants like you are. Let the connection of strangers lead you to paths of reference. And let the community see the impact that you're making and utilize those resources to get them relocated to places where they can be good servants in their own community.
Yeah, you know, Ron, when you were talking about the showers and then the barber shop, and instantly in my mind came this vision of, it's a building, whether it be a warehouse, whether it be, you know, like the stackable big storage things they have, where they build on top of there. And like that's instantly the vision that came to me. Like, it's a building. He is essentially birthing a building. Now, it may not look like what people think it needs to look like, because who would think you could do that in like the stackable big storage things? But that's why it came into my mind. Like, okay, he's leading him to that, where it is like you said, I want to create a one-stop shop for people, but I want to do it consistently. I lost all my... Okay.
I hear you.
Are you good?
I can't hear them.
You can't hear them?
No. You guys there?
It's about,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the time, because it's about to render out.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just a little glitch there. But that's what I saw. And so, you know, that's what I'm going to be praying for. That God just brings that. Or he brings the people that is going to make that happen for you. Because if there's one thing I know, it's you are very passionate about music. And you're also very passionate about causes God gives you and directs you to. And I think that's beautiful. Like, you were a worship director. He's already taught you the leadership to lead the people that you need now. He's expanded your people. And I think when you first got to Vegas and you were having the music and he sent the friend, that's preparation. He's like, I don't need you to look for, I'm going to send the people. I need you. I think the hardest thing, and this is something my sister Carrie said a couple years ago, is the wait in the wait.
The waiting.
The WEIGHT and the WAIT. That's where we struggle with God and what he's called us to. It's just sitting in that wait because we don't feel like we're doing enough. Like, okay, I should already have it by now. And God's like, I got this. I just need you to do what I told you to do and put in the effort and the obedience, and I will bring everything that you need. I will sustain you in your cause because you're doing it for the kingdom. So I love that. You know, I love you, Ron. We could be on here for hours with you down all different things, you know, even though you did try to put a Ohio State hat on, but that's okay. We're going to let that. I'm glad you went with the Las Vegas one there. But I love your passion. I love your music. So where can people find you on your socials, and where can they find your mission, and how can they help donate to the cause?
My music is on all major platforms. So if you just search my name, Ronald J. King, that should pop up. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Insta. I do have a link tree. It's called Earth Records, but it's spelled EA, the number 2, TH Records, RECORDS. It's an acronym for Ear to the Throne. So you have the EAR, then you have the TH, but there's a cross that makes the 2 and into the R. So that's the throne.
Not surprised.
The Throne Records.
Love that.
You can find that there. And then if you want to know about the nonprofit, it's showeringlvwithlove.com. That is our website. There it gives options for donations. We take Zelle, we go through Tithely, we have Cash App. So all the links there.
I'm going to ask the question. So what is the cost to keep that operating per day?
Per day?
So what is your goal per day to get showers covered? Like 10 showers a day or?
The funny thing is, once the units are built, the showers are minuscule. It takes, I think it's $5 gives approximately 10 showers.
Okay, great.
Of water usage. So right now, the overall goal, the container is, for the trailer is $6,000 that we have to purchase. And then we have a lot of contractors are willing to donate their time. So just the build out, they say it's about a month long. So once we get the trailer, then we can start the build out. And total, they said that if we're looking at a 3-stall shower, which is a men's, women's, and an ADA compliant one, it's going to run about $30,000 to $50,000 for the total build out for the trailer. But
Great.
Yeah.
All right. So we know what we're working with. We know where we got to get to. And so it's a beautiful cause for you to put your donations and your tithes. And if you're in Vegas, look Ron up, because I'm sure he has somewhere he can fit you into this. If you're like, all I have is time and I have this skill, talk to Ron, because I'm sure you can fit in there somewhere. And it's all about giving to the cause. So Ron, I want to thank you for coming on. I wanted to cover both because you're just amazing at both.
Thank you.
You're just an amazing person. You know, I love you to death. I'm so happy you came. And just keep being you and keep doing your thing. We both know God is going to provide. Everything happens in his timing, and he's going to bring the people, and it is going to be a success. And hey, that angel investor Keisha talked about is somewhere out there. And so
I believe it.
Just gotta keep asking.
Just gotta keep asking. And you always know how to get a hold of me, and we love partnering with you and doing things. And you know, you're just so talented.
Yeah, we'll do some fundraising with you.
Yeah, you're so talented.
We'll do some fundraising with you. We'll pick a month and a quarter, and do it weekly or whichever. But definitely get connected. We'll definitely get it on the schedule.
Yeah, we'll leverage something out. To get stuff moving to your cause. So, again, thanks for taking your time out from Vegas, Ron, and for wearing your Las Vegas hat. That was a good choice.
Well, thank you for having me today.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, buddy.
We love it.
Thanks.
Hey, this is Keisha. It's important that you leave your comments because we'd love to know about it. We'd also like for you to subscribe, like, share, and tag. See you next time.
Hi, this is Chrissy. Thanks so much for watching our episode today. Be sure to stay tuned for our featured song. Can't wait to see you next week.
Yeah. He's a friend of the friendless. He's the hope to the hopeless. The illest conductor, the best orchestrator, by the far he's the dopest. Created the moon, created the sun by using his vocals. Whenever a problem arises, solved, he's already spoken. Created the light and saw that it was all good. Created the land and sea, it was all good. Created the plants and trees and it was all good. See, in the air or in the sea, it's all good. That's what it be. Created the day and night and it was all good. Created the animals and they are all good. Created you and me and we are all good. See, when my God is in control, facts I'll show us all good. I put this on God that he's all good. He's always showing up like I know he would. In every situation, in every hood, suburb, ghettos, uptown, around the world. I put this on God that he's all good. He's always showing up like I know he would. In every situation, in every hood, suburbs, ghettos, uptown, around the world. Turn water to wine, then he's walking on water. He's healing the blind, then raising a daughter. 3 fish and 5 loaves, 5,000 he served. Spoke life to the dead, the lame, the mute, the deaf, and they heard. There's nothing that he won't do to get his love through to you, to help you see clearly. He even might spit at you. See, that's what happens when you encounter the living truth. Something needs to change. He'll never leave you the same as you came. So you're coming in hot, going out like an igloo. Your sins he forgot, cause that's what my God do. No longer a stranger, he gave us a hanger. So hang up your old ways, dance in the fire, reset this banger. I put this on God that he's always showing up like I know he would. In every situation, in every hood, suburb, and ghettos, up and around the world. I put this on God that he's all good, all good. He's always showing up like I know he would, know he would. In every situation, in every hood, suburbs, ghettos, uptown, around the world. I put this on God that he's all good, all good. He's always showing up like I know he would, know he would. In every situation, every hood, suburbs, ghettos, uptown, around the world. Showing up around the world, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Around the world, around the world.